Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope all of you and your families are keeping well. Today I have come up with a new topic, that is custom rules feature in Sonarqube. So as part of this tutorial, the main objective would be to cover what is custom rules, how we can add custom rule and attach that to an existing quality profile or any custom quality profile that you have created. And we would also discuss for JavaScript platform where custom rules are not supported, meaning where you cannot add custom rules and attach that into quality profiles and see that into action. That is basically not supported for JavaScript platform. So the alternative of that is to generate the ESLint reports. Basically first add the ESLint rules, generate the report for your source code, and then attach that report, generated report, to this Sonarqube so that you can see all the outcome that was produced by ESLint into Sonarqube, right? So we'll be seeing all these things in action one by one, and for your projects just do follow the same steps and see if you're able to achieve the desired outcome. And one last point to mention here is, as part of this example, I would be covering or considering the Node.js application, which is basically for JavaScript platform. But for your project, irrespective of what kind of language it is, I believe the steps would be similar. Just try following that and see if it works for you. If not, just leave a comment so that I can try creating some sample application for that specific language, and I'll see how we can achieve the same thing for the ask requirement by you. And as you see here, there are some references which I have gone through while exploring this specific custom rules feature of Sonarqube, so that I'll be sharing this with you as well so that you can go through them and explore it if you need some more information, right? Now, to get that started, let's make sure that Sonarqube server is up and running. Yes, it is. Let's see if it is accessible. Yeah, it is. I'll just log into Sonarqube dashboard and we'll discuss all these points which I have explained just now one by one. So as of now, if you see, there is no projects added here, right? And where you can find the custom rules. So in order to get that, you have to first click on rules, and in the left hand side you see like there are many languages, and for the respective language you see the rules, right? So if you click on Java, you'll see 639 rules. Similarly, if you click on JavaScript, you'll see 247 rules, right? So 100 of 247. So you can see, like, one by one you can see all of them here. Now if you have to add any custom rules, how will you add it? But before that, what is custom rules and why do we need it? So to understand that, we have to first look at the or have the context of about these rules. What are these rules? These rules are nothing but best practices that are being followed across the world, right, or across the internet for the any web application for the respective language, right? So for that specific language, what's the standard being followed across the internet or world? They have filtered them out and they have added it here. But what if we have to consider or add any rules that are not listed here? How will you add it, right? Now if you add it, how will you ensure that the added custom rule is being considered when you perform the scan, right? So in order to do that, for example, consider an example where, let's say, if you have to add a custom rule to check the function length. So for example, any function length should not exceed 100 lines. So how will you include that rules here and assume that that rule is not added as part of this list? So in order to add such rule, you have to have a provision to add custom rules, and that is being provided by the Sonarqube. So for that specific language, just click on that language, then scroll down, go under the template, click on show templates only, and then click on this specific link. And if you see here, there is an option of custom rules and create action. So when you click on create action, you will see bunch of attributes where you have to fill all this information here, because all these are mandatory. So of course you have to fill the mandatory fields information. And in order to get the better context, what I'll do is I'll open the created one which I have created as part of this specific exercise. So if you click on this, what I have done is I have mentioned that function name should not contain a natural number. Meaning, for example, you have created a function that has some number, natural number, and we don't want to, or basically we want to throw an exception, not exception, but we want to capture that as a warning as part of code smells category, right? So I want to capture that. So, and once it is captured, I want to see that as part of Sonarqube dashboard for that specific project. So how will you see that as an outcome? So for that, I have defined one custom rule, and then I have added the necessary descriptions like what is non-compliant code example and what is compliant solution, and then necessary parameters, right? And I have kept this under category of code smell, and severity is major, and tag is bad practice. Again, these are like just for practice purpose I have created it, but if you want to create a custom rule, make sure that you have the proper rules definition, rules expression and everything. Now in order to add the description, let me click on edit so that you'll have better context, right? So if you see here, name, I have kept it like this. As I said, if you want to add a custom rule, make sure that you have the proper naming so that it will be easily understandable by your teammates or your developers. And this don't bother about this key. This key is created by the Sonarqube platform itself. And then what is the severity? You can easily select it from the drop down. Add the description here. So again, there is a click on this formatting help so that you will get the context if you want to format the description so that it is easily readable, or yeah, it is easily readable for your viewer. And then add your regular expression and flags. To be honest, I was playing with this regular expression and flags to see something in action, but for JavaScript I couldn't do so because, as I explained earlier, right? For JavaScript we don't have a provision to add the custom rules and see that in action. So I couldn't play with regular expression more, but I'll try in the future. I'll try, if I can add regular expression for some of the custom rules and see that in action for different language, not for JavaScript. And then add your custom message, right? So what would be the custom message that you see if any failure, or not failure, if any rule, any code, any block of code that meets this specific rules or fail these specific rules. So what message you want to display there? So you add all these details, and once it is done, just save it. And once you save it, you'll see the rule created as part of, sorry. So navigate to this. Yeah, you'll see that rule added here. So for example, I'll simply add one more. Let's say function length should not be 140. See, it's already automatically being created, but it's editable. You can edit it. I'll just say code smells. I'll just keep everything as it is. As I said, make sure that you have the proper convention, naming convention, descriptions are added nicely so that in short, standards are being followed so that it will be easy to understand for your viewers or for your teammates. And then simply let's say, yeah, should not exceed 140 lines, and create. As you see here, the newly created one is being displayed here. So that is about how to add custom rules. Now the next point or the next stage. So before I go to the next stage, I'll quickly summarize what we have discussed and learned so far. First, what is custom rules? We have understood why do we need custom rules and what is custom rules. How to create custom rules. So I've showed you like how to navigate and come to this stage and then create the custom rules. And then the next step is once you add the custom rules, we have to ensure that that added custom rule is being considered as part of your scan. So that part is pending and I'm going to explain you that. For example, if you click on this one, you'll see that quality it is being added as part of one of the quality profiles. Sorry, initially I was mentioning quality gates, but actually it is part of quality profiles, not quality gates. Quality gates is basically where you define the thresholds for some of your quality categories, right? So I'm not going to that into uh, details for in this tutorial, but definitely I'll be covering as part of the next or the future tutorial. But as part of this, you have to add that as part of your quality profiles. And how will you add it? As of now, as I mentioned, as you see here, it is added as part of Sonarqube-new. So this is the quality profile name. And it's already been attached, hence you see this as deactivate option. But as soon as you deactivate it, you'll see activate option here, right? It's like, again, the behavior is how it is. Sorry, that's been gone now. So now the next step is how you can attach or map this created custom rule as part of the existing or custom quality profiles. So click on activate, and as soon as you click on activate, by default quality profiles would appear here and that will be grayed out, and simply activate it. Now, if you have more quality profiles, then you will be seeing the options to select that. For example, if I click on new, sorry, activate again, since there was only one default and it's already been selected, and hence you won't see any new quality profile. But if you have more quality profile, more than one, then you will see that quality profile list here, and you can simply activate, select that and activate that rule as part of that quality profile. Now, how this quality profile is being used? So I'm sure all of you are aware, but again I'll quickly summarize. So this quality profile is being used when you perform the sonar scan. So once you run the sonar scan, what it does is it picks the default quality profiles. If you do, unless you specify the quality profile explicitly. What do I mean by that is, let's say there is a property called sonar.qualityProfile. Unless you enable this and specify the quality profile name, it is not going to pick the, I mean, if you, whatever the quality profile you define it here, it is going to pick only that quality profile. If you comment it out and if you make any quality profile as a default, and when you perform the scan, by default it is going to pick that. So I'll quickly show you that as well. So before I go there, what we have seen as of now is how to attach or activate the created custom rule to the existing quality profiles, right? So let's quickly go back to quality profiles. So click on quality profiles tab, and since I'm explaining or trying to explain for the JavaScript project, so click on JavaScript, and as you see here, Sonarqube is the built-in, meaning when you install or set up the Sonarqube, right, there will be one default sorry, quality profile which is named as Sonarqube, and it was default, and it has like 161 rules. If you remember or go a few minutes back, uh, there were like 247 rules, but for this quality profile only 161 rules are applied, right? But if you want to activate more, simply click on this and go here, sorry, not here, uh, click on rules, JavaScript, and look for those uh, you know rules that you want to apply, sorry, activate. So for example, if I click on this, right, and I want to activate that for some quality profiles. Simply click on this, but if you see here, right, it is already been uh, activated. So now if you see here, see, nothing is being listed here. Why? Because whatever the quality profiles I have, this specific rule is already been activated for these quality profiles. So the point here is you are seeing 247. Why 248? Because we have created one more as part of this exercise, hence 248. So out of this 248, only 161, right? So JavaScript, yeah, 161 rules are applied. But if you want to activate more, simply go to those rules, go inside that rule and click on activate and select the quality profile for which you want to activate that. In this, I have created a new or custom quality profile, which is Sonarqube-new, and as a part of this you see 162, which is the why it is like one additional rules here. This is nothing but the one that I have created as part of this exercise, which is function name, I guess. Yeah, function name should not contain a natural number, right? And I have activated that to this quality profile. And as you see here, since this was like custom rule and that was being activated here, and here you see you are seeing as deactivate option. So once you deactivate it, it will show you the activate option and simply activate this. That's it, right? Now, there are few things to note down here. Like you may ask why activate or deactivate option is not enabled for these rules, because these are the default rules which are being already activated once you do the setup, right? In short, it is coming with your platform. Hence, they are not allowing you to activate or deactivate that. If you want to play with this configuration or these rules, simply create a custom quality profiles and play with those enable or activate or deactivate rules and all those things, right? Just to cover that point. Now, coming to our actual point, right? So as I said, if you want to activate any custom rules to the existing quality profiles, you won't be able to do the or add the what do you call. So click on basically create a new one. So how will you create a new quality profile? So for example, I want to create a new quality profile out of Sonarqube new, or simply from Sonarqube, which is the default one. I'll say extend. I'll say, let's say, custom rule extend, right? And as you see here, 161 active rules. Now I want to activate more. See these options, activate more. Click on this, look for the one that we have created, which is function length, I guess. Yeah, see, function length should not be, I mean, again, don't go by this name, just alter the name, rule name, title and everything as per your standard. Make sure that standards are being followed. So activate it. I'll say, let's say blocker, whatever, based on your requirement or based on your definition of creating custom rules. Since this is being activated now I want to ensure that these specific custom rules, created custom rules, are being considered as part of your scan. So how will you ensure that? Because as of now we have just activated that to the newly created quality profiles, but how will you ensure that these rules are or rule is being considered as part of a scan? So as I mentioned earlier, whenever you perform a scan, a quality profile is being picked up. If you define it, uh, if you are overriding it, it's fine, it will pick that one, and if you are not, then it will pick the default one. So you have to ensure that if you want to consider this specific custom rules as part of your Sonar scan, then you have to choose this specific quality profile, right? So in this case our quality profile is nothing but if I go here, this one, sorry, click on quality profiles, yeah, and then copy this one and simply activate this. There are two ways. either override this or make this as default. So there's an option to make it default, set as default, right? So if you set it default, as you see here 162, if you want to like add more, activate more, go. So I think, yeah, simply click on this quality profile, click on activate more, and look for the rules that you have created. So I think there's one more custom rule, which is function name should not contain a natural number. So I'll simply click on activate. These are custom rules, right? Now if you go to quality, so if you go to rules, JavaScript, template, right? See here. Now both of these created custom rules are being mapped to the or being activated to the one of the quality profiles, right? Hence, if we go inside here, see this one we have mapped to this one, and the quality profile name is coming here. So if you navigate to this quality profile, you can see 163 count now. Earlier it was 161, right? Now, as I said, if you want to consider this create quality custom rules as part of your scan, make sure that quality profile is defined here. If not, since I have made that as default, so once you run when you run that specific scan for that specific project, it will automatically consider this rule into the consideration as part of your scan, and you'll see that in action. As of now, as I mentioned in the earlier, this is for JavaScript project which is not supported by Sonarqube to have this integration for the of the custom rule for JavaScript project. So you won't see that in action. Okay. Now, if you want to see that in action, the alternate way is you add the same rule as part of your ESLint configuration and then generate the report and then pass that report path to Sonarqube. So for now what I'll do is I'll simply run a perform a scan. So let's say I'll just clear this and perform my scan, and you'll see that there's zero code smell. Okay, now you might see one code smell because I have enabled this custom rules. I'll come to this property. Let me comment this out and then rerun it again. So when I perform this scan, what it will do is it will pick the default quality profile, which is nothing but Sonarqube custom rule, which has two additional rules, and it will have zero code smell as of now because I haven't integrated the ESLint report path to Sonarqube. So if I go to dashboard, I am seeing this output, right? This is nothing but the project key which I have added here. So just do the changes as per your requirement. And if you see a zero code smells, right? Although if you go to ESLint property, I have mentioned that maximum lines per function should not be more than 5. Again, this is not the standard value, but just to play around how to integrate all those things, I have added this. So if you go to middleware, see this specific function has like more than 5 lines, and if you see the warning, see it says like method this has too many lines, maximum allowed is 5. Why? Because this is what I have configured here. Now that is not being captured by the Sonarqube. How? Right? Now if you want to integrate this warning to the Sonarqube as well, what you have to do is you have to simply generate a report npx ESLint where, so this specific file is within this middleware folder, right? So give the source code where you want to perform the ESLint scan. Mention the format. So I want this report to be generated in JSON format, and then output file. So output file is nothing but result.json, or I would say, let's say ESLint-result.json. And once you do it, you'll see one file being created here. Yes. Sorry. I have to go inside this because inside this my node module folders are. So if you see here, ESLint, this report path is generated with the rules and everything. Now what you do is copy the relative path, go to Sonarqube project properties file, enable this rule, and then simply, this is nothing but, you are basically giving the ESLint report path, that's all, for the generated source code. So the property name is sonar.eslint.reportPaths. Now you may ask how and from where I came to know about this property. So again, as part of the reference list, the link that I mentioned in the beginning, it's already there. I'll be mentioning that in the description. So you just add this property and the path and rerun the scan. Right? So scan, I have to go one folder back. And once you run the scan, let's wait for the result. Now, right now you are seeing 0 code decimals, but you should see 1 code decimals here. Why? Because of these rules that we have added, right? Because this rule is, as I mentioned in the beginning, most of these rules are standard, and most of these rules are also, Sonarqube has considered most of these rules, right? Because these are standards. So since this is, I haven't created this one like custom. I've just gone to went to ESLint documentation. I copied this rule and I pasted it here. And as per your requirement, just update the value. If it is warning, error, what kind of message you want to throw your developer or your project you want to display or consider as part of your standard, just add all these details here and then simply generate the report. And since this is standard, so of course you want to capture that as part of your Sonarqube dashboard as well, because since this is being considered a best practice or a custom rule that you want to add for your project, so it's good to integrate that as part of your Sonarqube as well. And there's a way to do it, and that is what I'm trying to explain here. So since this is generated, now if you refresh this page, you should see 1 code smells here. See, 1 code smells. Now narrow down to this project, and if you go to overall code, click on code smells, it should show this common middleware function here. See, method more than has too many lines, maximum allowed is 5, right? See, right? And this is what being reported by ESLint as well. And from where it is coming, everything you can see. I think you guys are already aware of all this scanning, how to read and all those things. So this is already being added here. So this is the way to add ESLint reports outcome with the Sonarqube, and it is a good way to have the consolidated outcome so that your developer, your teammates will have the better context and they'll have one view to look into. They don't have to look at here and there, right? So just to summarize, what we have covered as part of this tutorial is what is custom rules, how to add custom rules, and how to activate that as part of your quality profile, so that once you perform the scan, that quality profile will be picked up. Again, depends on your setup. Either you want to override it or you want to make it default. Based on that, it should pick the custom rules that you have activated to the respective quality profile. And once you perform the scan, you should see the outcome like this for the added rules. So that's all I have to say as part of this tutorial, and I have to explain. I hope I have covered the expected objective that I have explained in the beginning. If you have any further questions for your specific project, for example, as I mentioned in the beginning, let's say you are doing this, you want to create custom rules for Java, right? And I believe for Java project there is a way to you know I mean, you don't have to generate the ESLint report outcome and then integrate that to Sonarqube. For Java, it's supported. So once you add custom rules, I believe you should be able to see that in actions once you perform the Sonar scan after doing the necessary, after following the necessary steps that I have mentioned. So let me know if you are trying to create custom rules for different project, for different language, not for JavaScript. And if you're able to do that, please let me know into the comment. Leave a comment for that. And even if you're facing any issue, let me know, so that what I can do is I can create a simple Java project, and I'll try creating a custom rule and integrate that with Java's project as well, so that it will be helpful for you guys as well. Okay, I think that's it for now as part of this video. As I mentioned, if you have any feedback or any comments, please put that into the YouTube comment section, so that I can get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Have a good day ahead.